This award into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame does not go to any ordinary musician. This musician made many people amazed and astounded with the new breed of music he presented. Jimi Hendrix created the fullest range of sound that could be obtained from an amplified instrument. Hendrix synthesized many styles in creating his musical voice, and his guitar style was unique. Yet the songs and sound generated by Hendrix were original and virtually indescribable. He anchored his beat to rock and roll. Many would claim him to be the greatest guitarist ever to pick up the instrument. Hendrix was born on November 27, 1942, in Seattle, Washington. Hendrix grew up as a shy and sensitive boy, deeply affected by the conditions of poverty and neglect he experienced. Around the time of his mother's death, Hendrix was 15 years old and was given his first acoustic guitar for $5 from a friend of his father. Hendrix learned to play by practicing almost constantly, watching others play, through tips from more experienced players, and by listening to records such as Muddy Waters and B.B. King. A year later, he began his professional legacy by joining the band The Rocking Kings. His flashy style and left-handed playing of the right-handed guitar already made him a standout. Following a sketchy period in the Army, he hit the road with a succession of club bands and as a backup musician for such rhythm and blues artists such as Little Richard, the Isley Brothers, Jackie Wilson, The Impressions, and Sam Cooke. His influence furthered the development of hard rock, funk rock, hip-hop, and paved the way for heavy metal in his time. After moving to England and forming a band, the Jimi Hendrix Experience, with bassist Noel Redding and drummer Mitch Mitchell, he landed his first album in 1967 called Are You Experienced? Within a year and a half of his first album, the band wrote two more albums called Access, Bold as Love, and Electric Ladyland. In the time of his first album release, the band toured the United Kingdom and parts of Europe. Hendrix then had the chance to develop his stage presence, which reached a high point on March 31st of 1967. When he was booked to appear as one of the opening acts of the Walker Brothers farewell tour, at the end of his first performance he set his guitar on fire as a publicity stunt. He stated, "The time I burned my guitar, it was like a sacrifice. I just finished painting it that day and I really was into it," he said. "You sacrifice the things you love and I love my guitar." With this quote said, the breakup of the Jimi Hendrix Experience, which happened in the summer of 1969, is unforgotten, but brought many emotional and musical growth to Hendrix. 1969 became the year of the Rock Festival after the apex of the hippie movement event in Bethel, New York. Woodstock created a crowd close to 500,000 featuring artists like Hendrix such as The Who and Joe Cocker. Without a doubt, his new band Gypsy, Sun, and Rainbows became one of the crowd's favorite with the song Purple Haze. Also, many recognized the Woodstock performance as the renegade version of Star Spangled Banner. His insightful knowledge of music was beyond any other on the stage, even though he could not read or write music. But nevertheless, he brought the mud-soaked audience to a frenzy. This award not only should recognize him as a musician who influenced many genres of music, but mainly on the part of him being a musical genius. From demo recordings to finished masters, Jimi Hendrix generated an amazing collection of songs over the course of his short career. Without a doubt, we are honored to have Jimi Hendrix placed into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame museum tonight. To this day, the style of music he created continues to make Hendrix one of the most popular figures in the history of rock music. Thank you.